सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजुनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजुनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजुनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजुनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजुनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजुनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. Thank you to everyone that's come today. So last week in Saki time, we discussed Dhan Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, our second Paatshah's Jeevan, as it was their Prakash Purv. So we looked at their life, their lineage, who they're from, how they met Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, the seva that they did, how they're known to be a great Gursikh, a great Sikh. Said that if you want to learn how to be a Sikh, then look at Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj's Qurbaniyan, look at their sacrifice. They never ever said no to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, no whatever they did. So Saki time for this week, Amanjot Singh said he was going to bring a Saki for us. I'll pass it over to him, and then we'll go through Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Jeevan. We'll have a Q&A at the end, and we'll finish off with doing some Simran. So I'm going to hand it over to Amanjot Singh, so you can go through him.
So my Saki is on Bhagat Dhannaji. So Bhagat Dhannaji was born around 50 years prior to Guru Nanak Dev Ji in a village called Dua. He was part of a Jat family and was the only son. At a young age, he had to take over the family's farming duty. He used to graze the cows in a nearby riverbank where there was a Tar Gurdwara, which is a Hindu temple. During those times, Jat was considered a low caste. Therefore, they were not allowed inside temples or to do bhakti or read the Vedas. So Dhannaji would observe what was happening from afar, so the people coming in and out, and what the pandits were doing and how they were doing puja of a stone. So Dhannaji became curious as to what it was that they were that was going on in there and what they were doing. So one day Dhannaji decides to go into the temple and ask the pandit, "What are you doing? Why are people bringing in things for this stone?" The pandit replies, "I'm doing seva of Bhagwan, and if you do seva of Bhagwan, you will receive anything you ask for." Dhannaji became happy as he was a poor farmer who sometimes struggled to put food on his table. He desired a big house, a peaceful life, money, and a good wife. He was a very innocent man and asked if he could take the stone and do puja. The pandit said no, one because you are Jat and so you cannot do puja, two because you're uneducated, you don't know how to read the Vedas, and you don't know how to do worship. Number three is you don't have a place for Bhagwan to sit, you need a mandir. Dhannaji was very stubborn as he had a deep desire to do Bhagwan's puja and replied that he could build his own mandir. They went back and forth until the pandit became frustrated and said, "Fine, I will let you take the stone." He goes into the back of the temple and just grabs a random stone on the ground. He then goes back to the front and gives it to Dhannaji. Dhannaji went away happy and had a temple built for Bhagwan. Dhannaji wondered what to ask Bhagwan, but then remembered what the pandit said, which was to do seva first and then your wishes will be fulfilled. He then remembered what he observed at the riverbank of what the pandit was doing, where he was offering food after taking a bath. He didn't know what to say or do, so he said in his mind, "I have done everything the pandit told me to do. I've given you a bath, made you food, please give me your darshan." Some say hours went by, others say days went by. Dhannaji had so much patience, but then he became upset, thinking that the food hasn't been eaten. Has he done something wrong? He repeatedly did Benti and Ardas for darshan of Maharaj. He then decided that if Bhagwan wasn't going to eat what he made, then he wouldn't eat either, along with no longer taking a bath or no longer working the farm. After so long waiting, Dhannaji eventually saw Bhagwan in front of him eating the food that was presented. Dhannaji was then asked why he called Maharaj, to which the response was, "Whoever does your seva, you fulfill all their desires. I would like clothes, cows, money, and a good wife. Can you please give them to me?" Even though this can be considered as materialistic, it came from a place of purity and innocence. Maharaj then smiles and asks if there's anything else. Dhannaji replies that whenever he calls Maharaj, "Please come and meet me." So whenever Dhannaji remembered Vaidu, he was always blessed with darshan of Maharaj. After Maharaj left Dhannaji, Dhanna saw there was some food left over, and then after he ate it, he became intoxicated with naan. And everyone in his village then began calling him Bhagat due to the bhakti he would do. He was blessed with a good wife and flourishing farming business. Bhagat Dhannaji has also been mentioned by Guru Arjan Dev Ji and by Guru Das Ji. So yeah, that was my sakhi.
Wicked. So before you did the video, do you know about Bhagwan Naji at all? You didn't know? No idea. Wicked, that's really good. So so what can you take away from their life?
So so the patience that he took to actually meet Maharaj and the stubbornness that came from a place of purity.
The stubbornness, isn't it? For anyone else, does anything else stick out for them in any way? Bhagat Naji's Jeevan? Anyone? No?
Another thing for me is the fact that the pandit, he just grabbed a random stone, so it's not that the stone was like special, but because he did it with such pure love, that's why Maharaj showed himself to him.
Yeah, that's it. It's the Shraddha that Maharaj seen in Bhagat Naji. On we don't, obviously we condone like doing Buddha Puja, we don't have idol worship. This Sakhi, so Bhagat Naji's Bani is in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj as well. Their writings are they're in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And Bhagat Naji, I remember hearing Katha on Bhagat Naji and how it came about. Like we usually hear this Sakhi, we'll hear the story that Pathar jo Rab nikal aaya siga because Bhagat Naji had so much Shraddha, है ना? So Bhagat Naji, when Maharaj did give darshan, when Maharaj ate the food, they saw Bhagat Naji didn't have an ounce of hankar within them. Koi hankar nahi thi ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ. They didn't have no ego whatsoever. And that's what's stopping us from doing darshan of Vaheguru as well, in essence. Right? It's having ego within your mind, within you having even a tiny bit of ego. That's it. Once that goes, then you get all the kirpa. But Bhagat Naji didn't have any ego in them. They just had Shraddha. They could say that whole innocence behind them. They had that innocence, right? Because only Pandit ne kiya ki eda darshan mil jaange te tu seva karya kar, hai na? But so even to this day, if you go to Bhagat Naji's where was the point? Whereabouts was it?
I'm not sure where exactly that is.
I don't know if anyone else knows. I'm sure it's in Punjab, but so Bhagat Naji, even to this day, what people do is they'll go to Bhagat Naji's Janamasthan, and the kids that their farms, they'll get mitti out of their farm and then go and spread it in their own farm. They feel like obviously it blesses the land, it blesses the crops. Whether that happens or not, or shahada di galla fade again, है ना? But just scan the matlab it's that whole pyar that they have for Pakistan, you know? So thank you so much for that word. That was really good. And if anyone here doesn't know about who Pakistanaji was, you've learned something new today from them. So Pakistanaji are one of the 15 Pagats. So 15 Pagat hoye ne. There's 15 Pagats Gurbani written in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, right? So there's seven Guru Sahib Ji's Bani written and 15 Pagats, 15 Pagat, another Bani. Yeah, there's loads of other Pagats Bani written there as well, you know. So the whole point of the Saki time is like you learn a Saki yourself, you share it with everyone, and we discuss like what you've learned from them, how you can apply it into your own Jivan, how you can change your own life, and from that. So thank you so much for that, Amajol Singh. I really appreciate that. Who would like to bring a Saki for next week? Have you done one in a while? You have not done in a while? Does anyone else want to bring a Saki for next week? You want to bring one? Yeah? Okay, cool, Ben. Thank you so much. I look forward to Benji's because I'm assuming that it'll be about Bibi in it. It's going to be about Bibi in it, which is needed as well. Huh? Really good, really good. So thank you so much for that, Ben. So we'll bring it back for us next week. We'll move on to Tanu Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Jivan. So we've got a few new faces in today. So just to let them know what we do is we're going through Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Jivan, and it's not just like just roughly going over it. We're going into through their Jivan in so much detail. If you've heard of Nanak Prakash Katha and you've listened to it from day one and finished it all, then get on you, really, really good. But otherwise, that's what we're going through. We're going through their whole life, who they met, when they met them, who were they with, what conversation did they have, what was talked about, and so far Maharaj has met loads of different people, loads of different kinds of people at loads of different places, and loads of interesting conversations have happened so far. So when I was doing preparation for this evening, I was writing the notes, and I always make a new like notepad, open a new notepad, and then I checked how many we've got, and it said there's 116. So far we've done 100. We're not done so far because I know there were a few on my phone as well before I got the tablet. So we've done 116 like of these sessions on Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, so far, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj even. So quick recap from last week. What happened last week? Dhan Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj with Bhai Balaji, Bhai Mardana Ji are travelling. They're near the Samer Parvat, like this mountain that's really famous within Granths. And near that mountain, there's loads of famous sadhus. There's loads of bhagats that sit there, focus on bhakti, focus on doing simran, meditating on Vaheguru. As Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj are traveling, they meet Bhagat Prahlad Ji, they meet Bhagat Dhruv Ji, and then they go to Sachkhand. They have an amazing conversation with Vaheguru in Sachkhand, and then they also go after they have that conversation with Vaheguru, they come back to Bhai Balaji, Bhai Mardana Ji, and they travel. They continue on their travels, and they get to this place where there's a really beautiful garden, really lush trees, really big trees, and these trees have like really beautiful fruit on them, and the branches are hanging. So it's been described in a really nice way. So while they're waiting there, while they're having this conversation, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj then Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj meets a sadhu, and the sadhu asks Maharaj, right, who are you? How have you come here? Because they've never met anyone else there before. I'm really surprised, so please tell us your name. Guru Sahib Ji then said, my name is Nanak and we are Nirankar Sevak. And I mentioned this last week, for me that was really special, something special about when Maharaj themselves say, my name is Nanak. It's like almost like a reminder, Guru Sahib, you're talking to you, saying that, like, I'm your Guru. For me, it's like almost like a personal thing, Maharaj having a conversation with you. So, it's very powerful. Now we now know, and I also said that last week, that we know that doing darshan of Guru Sahib Ji, many sins get raised by just doing their darshan, by just getting just meeting Guru Sahib Ji. But also saying Guru Sahib Ji's name, many sins get washed away. Kavi Santokh Singh, you have written this. They've mentioned that loads of time. Bhai Gurdas Ji, Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj's nephew, they've written in their writings as well. When you mention Guru Sahib Ji's name, many sins paap to ho jande a jadon Maharaj da naam leida a. Guru Sahib Ji continue and then say that we are wondering, finding Sangat when they were having this conversation with this sadhu, with this rishi. Guru Sahib Ji said to them, ki we're finding Sangat with Mahapurukhs like yourselves. And again, I said last week that if Guru Sahib Ji are saying that, ki we're looking for Sangat, we're looking for that company where we can talk about Vaheguru and do Simran, then what about us? Have we ever thought about it in that way? Have you ever thought about it? So just for 1 second throughout your life, have you actively thought or made a plan to look for Sangat? Or have you thought that I need to find the right Sangat? I should find the right kind of company to help me progress in Sikhi, to help me walk on this path. Because without Sangat it's impossible. Sangat to bagair it's near impossible to do it without Sangat. If you I can just do it on my own. Them kind of people are really special. They come into this world for us though. So when Guru Sahib Ji did Ustad, praised that sadhu, the sadhu got really happy, and then I left it there. What does it say next? So let's do Ustad of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Let's praise Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj so we're able to focus on the rest of the Katha and see where Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj is going to take us today. ज्ञान ध्यान किछ कर्म न जाना सार न जाना देवी सब ते वड्डा सतगुर नानक जिन कल राखी मेरी सब ते वड्डा सतगुर नानक जिन कल राखी मेरी. So jehda sadhu siga, rishi siga, oh khush ho gaya. He got happy meeting Guru Sahib Ji. He got pleased. And he said, if your name is Nanak, Je aap ji da naam Nanaka, then I bow in your charan. Fir namaskar thanu Maharaj. Ki Guru Sahib Ji asked, how do you know us? Tu kidda janta sanu? Where have you heard about us? Tu kidda sunaya sade naam bare? The sadhu then said, my Guru was Pura. Jehda mera Guru si jitho main sikhya, jina to main sikhya, whoever I learned from was perfect. And he said to me, Ona ne menu bachan sunaye, they said, ki Vaheguru will come to the earth in Kaljug, in the dark age, and they will get people to do Simran and to get rid of Pakhand. Pakhand dur karnu. Pakhand means when you be fake in front of people. O karnu, because at that time before Guru Sahib Ji came, Pakhand was at an all-time high, and it's kind of getting high now again. Pakhand da matlab ki banda jara more baitha hai, he'll be something on the outside and something else on the inside. When you get fake babbe, when you get fake gurus, when you get all that kind of fake stuff, and then pakhand kar dene ho. And when you get fake, sometimes you'll get fake pracharaks as well. When you don't know who to believe, who not to believe. We've had these conversations so many times here, and the question is asked, how do you know if it's a true Mahapurukh? Asli Mahapurukh kimhe pata hai na? Because in today's day and age, that gets proper put out there, where people are saying there's no such thing as a sant, there's no such thing as a Mahapurukh, and they get that whole thing from there because of how many stories have come out, how many cases have come out where they're all fake. They're saying that only the perfect Guru is Guru Sahib Ji, and yes, Guru Sahib Ji are perfect, but they send Mahapurukhs here to help us out, to keep us on the path to meet Guru Sahib Ji as well. And the thing is, if there's fake Gurus, the only reason why there's fake Mahapurukhs, there's only fake sants out there is because there's real ones. And think about it like that. If you think about it in a dunyavi thought, the dunyavi level, worldly level, there's only fake Rolexes because there's real Rolexes. There's only fake diamonds because there's real diamonds. Je asli je hega ya hira tain nakli heere ne. Yeah, that in that same way, if there's real Mahapurukhs, then there'll be fake Mahapurukhs as well. But if we do ardas to Maharaj, make us give us sangat of Mahapurukhs like that. And so he said that the sadhu said, my Guru is Pura, and he said to me, Vaheguru will come to us in Kaljug, and they'll get people to do Simran and get rid of Pakhand, and they will come to reveal the path of bhakti, and to store a Srisht Dharma. Srisht meaning the highest Dharma, the highest path. So look at that. Last week, I think we were having this conversation about last week. Someone else asked this question as well. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, that Sabate Badda Sat Guru Nanak, what does that mean? Does that mean Sikhi is the best, Sikhi is the highest? Because I thought is we all believe in equality, or that we do believe in equality or not. A famous thing people say is that Darbar Sahib, when you go to Darbar Sahib, there's 4 entrances, so everyone's welcome there. Yes, everyone's welcome there, but when you have to go to the house of God, Hari Mandir, when you have to get to Har Mandir Sahib, ek darshani deodi de vich nu jana penda hai, so you have to follow only one path you can follow, and yes, the path of Sikhi is the most perfect path, is the perfect path. But ithe keh rahe ne, the rishi, the sadhu was saying that my guru did the bhajan, that to store a Srisht Dharam, the highest Dharam, they will come into this world, the path above the rest. And doing your darshan, my life has become safal. You are that same Nanak. The sadhu came closer to Guru Sahib Ji, nere aa gaya, and he did matha tek to Guru Sahib Ji. Guru Sahib Ji also showed satkar, and they put their hand on the rishi, on the sadhu's head. Guru Sahib Ji then asked, Ki tera na kiya, what's your name? What's your guru's name? The sadhu said, my name is Kalyan, and my guru's name was Sheel Sen. Doing your darshan, I feel as if all my pain have been eradicated. And the reward for doing all the bhakti and the simran I have done up until this day, I'm getting the fall for it now by getting your darshan. He said something really big, that all my life I've dedicated it to doing bhakti, to doing simran, and to get rewarded for that, this is my reward, getting your darshan, Maharaj. Contemplate on this now, that I've done simran bhakti all my life, and to get rewarded for that, I'm getting your darshan, Maharaj. Yeah. Now everyone here has got to do darshan of Guru Sahib Ji today downstairs. Maharaj the darshan tusi karke aaye ho uppar nu, right? What bhakti or how much simran must you have done to get that reward? Thode pichle karma, your pichle janam, how much bhakti would you have done to get darshan of Maharaj on a weekly basis? Weekly basis, whoever comes on a weekly basis, whoever gets to do darshan of Maharaj on a daily basis. Imagine how much simran have they done in their past birth to get rewarded, to get darshan of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. After doing darshan, the sadhu, the rishi, goes back to his ashram, his place where he's doing bhakti and learning. There were more sadhus there, at this place, and they were doing bhakti with focus. And this reminded me, sometimes we think that happened so many hundreds of years ago, or even thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, where people went to a certain place to go and focus on doing bhakti. And you don't get people like that in today's day and age. But no, that's not true. In today's day and age, there are places like this to this day as well. If you want to go and focus on bhakti, you can do. And a personal experience I can share is that when I went to Punjab a couple of years ago before getting married, so this was going more than 10 years, probably 15 years ago now, in Hoshiarpur, near Hoshiarpur, Othek Asthana, if you want to focus on doing bhakti, then you go to Asthan, then go and meet the Sevadar there and tell him you wish to do this. And the Parbandha there, the organization there is so brilliant that if you go to that place, More Gurdwara, there's a Gurdwara. Then when you go to the back of the place, there's a big courtyard, and there's loads of rooms. Yeah, there's loads of rooms going down on one side. There's loads of rooms going from the back, and then loads of rooms going like the other side. And there's like solid doors on all the rooms with a little hatch at the bottom of the door. Yeah, enough for thali to go through. Yeah, and so what that place is, that if you're really serious about doing bhakti, you can go to that place. They say that that's your kamra. You focus on doing bhakti. Your food will come to you. Yeah, your food once a day. And then it'll be prepared. We'll put it through the little slot in the door. You eat and then just put the bandi back. We'll clean the bandi and everything. And that's it. And when you go there, you can feel the vibes. It's really pin drop silence there, really quiet. Like you can't make no noise, you can't talk there. And we got a chance to go there, and we were walking around and just checking the place out. And in the middle of the courtyard, there's a glass coffin kind of shape, a glass, and in that glass coffin, there's like they've put like a body made out of like a mannequin, like a dummy, but wrapped in cloth, right in the middle of that whole courtyard. And when you see that, it kind of just like first you feel it kind of creeps you out a little bit, and then like my friend got scared. He's like, "What the hell is that? Really a dead body?" He got scared. He goes, and then we're like, "No, it was a little bit." And then when you go close to it, it says, "Hamisha maut nu chitte rakho." Always remember death, because that's what we don't do. We think we're going to live forever. ਸਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ we don't think we can die tomorrow. ਕੀ ਪਤਾ? And if you're not going to focus on bhakti, that's your life's wasted then. And Simran, then that's if they come out for like a little bit of a walk or exercise, they see that and then they just focus on bhakti again. That's the number one thing. ਉੱਥੇ ਲੁਧਿਆਣੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਧੂ ਹੋਇਆ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ that loads of people used to go to him to go and ask him for questions, go and ask him for like advice and stuff like that. And ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਉਹ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ I want to do Simran, ਮੈਂ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ. This person, this arm banda went because I want to start doing Simran. Give me advice or help me on this path. You keep me with you. I want to learn off you and stuff like that. Or sadhu siga, he didn't really want the headache. He just like, let me focus on my bhakti to aapda kaam kar. And then they're like, no. He's like, no, I want to come. So what he did with the sadhu, the Mahapurkh, they went to go and do sair karan gaye ek wari. Sair karde they came to a graveyard. Graveyard, there must have been like really old graveyard, dug up animals, sometimes dig up old animals, old bones and stuff like that. There was a skull there. So he picked up the skull and then took it back to his room, and then he put the skull on his bed near the pillow, and then it made it out like there's a dead body there, right? A skeleton. That person came back who was doing his head in, and he goes, "Main bhakti karni hai. Like, give me the best advice you can." And then they said, "Maut nu hamesha chitte rakhiyo," and then you'll do bhakti. If you always remember death, if you always remember that you're not got forever on this earth, try and do as much Simran as you can. And then he's like, okay. And then he goes, "Look, maut nu chitte rakh," and then they did a shara towards the bed. He looked at the bed and he ran off. He goes, the sadhu's gone, Kamala, like, he's got like a dead skeleton in his bed, isn't it? But tariqe hunde are the tariqa that they have in there, But there's people like that to this day, where you can go and do bhakti as well. So many sadhus are doing bhakti there at this place where this sadhu Rishi goes back. Kalyanji then went and told everyone about Guru Sahib Ji arriving. Then they said that Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj have come. He's proper excited. He goes, Guru Sahib Ji aa gaye the. And he said, Rishiyo, we always talked about them. Hamesha si katha bhi kiti ona bare. Ki Nanak, ona da naam Nanaka, o Kaljug vich dunya vich aaya in the form of Vaheguru has come in the form of Nanak. We always used to talk about them. They're here. And now they've come themselves. They've come here themselves. They're sitting there looking beautiful. Let's go and do the darshan. Darshan karan chaliye. All the rishis and the sadhus that were there then went to go and get darshan of Guru Sahib Ji. They're running to go and see where Maharaj are. They have dreadlocks, and the dreadlocks they've made a juda on their head out of the dreadlocks, and they've got a cloth covering all their bodies like a loose cloth. They have sacred threads around their necks. Their nails and their hands and feet on their hands and feet are long, but yet the aura from all of them is so strong. You can see like a bright white light coming from all of them. Because they're doing bhakti, they're focusing on bhakti, their case are white and their bodies are skinny. They don't care about luxuries and sukh. They don't care about any of that, but however they have got gyan about Vaheguru. When they got to Guru Sahib Ji stood up and did namaskar to them. Look at that, Guru Sahib Ji showing love back. कि वो साधु आए उठे सारे जितने भी साधु उठे आए महाराज एकदम खड़े हो गए Guru Sahib Ji stand up and they do namaskar to them. Maharaj bows to all the sadhus. Kinna satkar Maharaj is showing back. Vaheguru themselves are showing love back to their sadhus, to the bhagats. And that's all that Vaheguru Ji want, right? Maharaj no say ehi chahida ya ki pyar chahida. That's all they need love. Jin prem kiyo tin hi prapaya. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj say, and we read it every day, कि जेड़ा भी प्रेम करूगा वही वाहिगुरु नु पाऊगा जेड़ा प्यार करता है वो असल unconditional love वो unconditional love is कि and then they all praise Guru Sahib Ji जितने भी साधु ने they all praise Guru Sahib Ji and they focus on Guru Sahib Ji's चरण उन्हां दी निगाह सारी महाराज दे चरणां ते जांदी आ and they say Maharaj Ji आप जी are the sarguru swaroop of Vaheguru In Sikhi, we're taught, Guru Sahib Ji tell us, there's a Nirgun Sarup of Vaheguru and there's a Sargun Sarup of Vaheguru. Nirgun means without form, Sargun means with form. And Maharaj, hey, the Sadhu saying, Ki Maharaj, after the Sargun Sarup of Vaheguru, you will save countless people. Tusi kinnyan nu bachauna hai. And right now, we're going through their Jeevan, right? Asi Guru Sahib Ji the Jeevan, asi cover kar rahe hain. On a weekly basis, we're going through their Jeevan. We've been going through this for the past 4 years. And God knows how long it's going to take. Pata nahi kinne saal lag jane aaye. And learning that Guru Sahib Ji are saving so many. Kinne Maharaj ne either kings or beggars. Kevra Maharaj Raja nu bacha lende a. Kevra Maharaj Bhikhariyan nu bacha lende a. Kevra Maharaj Papiyan nu bacha lende a. Like people that have sinned so much. People that have done so much big pap. Kode raksha amangya one de bande wang जिन्हों ने बहुत बड़ा पाप किया. People that are cannibals that have eaten other people. Can you imagine in today's day and age if you heard about someone like that? When we do hear about people like that, this person murdered this many people and he ate them, what's our first reaction? We're like, bloody hell, that's crazy, that is. That's mad. That's mentally he's not right. What's wrong with him? All this stuff we say, all this it's good that he got sent to jail. It's good that he got executed. The only person, the way that person that can get saved is if only Guru Sahib Ji, the perfect Guru, can save someone like that. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਪਾਪੀ ਐਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਸਿਰਫ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਬਚਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ. So we've learned that Maharaj is saving countless people, right? But the truth is Guru Sahib Ji even to this day are saving people, saving us through the amazing Jeevan Katha. Maharaj ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ. Guru Sahib Ji, when you're listening to their Katha, we know hand on heart people here can say that their lives have been changed by listening to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj's Katha. Their kids' lives have been changed by listening to the Katha of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. And I know for a fact that they're so thankful that their kids have been saved in that sense. Now the Sikhi that they've been blessed with is not the Sikhi that we used to be told. It's Guru Sahib Ji Kirpa now, they're getting taught that proper way of Sikhi. And then all you can say is there is Tana Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, that you're so great. The rishis continue and they say, Ki Maharaj, aapki have done so much kirpa on us by coming here. Tusi Maharaj, tusi aap hi chal ke ithe aa gaye. We have become nihal since doing your darshan. We've got so much anand. You have done so much daya on us. You have showed so much compassion on us. We know that you love your bhagats. Sanu pata hai ki tusi aapde bhagtan naal pyar karde ho. Maharaj, our jeevan is suffer from doing your darshan. Guru Sahib Ji then said, Tan or you sadhus, you are great. Maharaj aap kende ki tusi sadhu jinne bhi tusi rishi ho, tusi sare tan ho. You're great that you focus on Vaheguru. Tusi ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ. ਬਚਨ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ Guru Sahib Ji continue on their journey. They all did matha take to Guru Sahib Ji before Guru Sahib Ji Maharaj went from there. Guru Sahib Ji, Bhai Bala Ji and Bhai Mardana Ji then continue on the journey. As they're walking, they come across big trees again and they see a beautiful sarovar there, a lake. Utthe ek sarovar hai bahut badda. The pani there so pure, so clear, and it looked amazing. It looked so beautiful. Guru Sahib Ji sat on the banks on the edge of the water. Bhai Mardana Ji fir ithe puchde ne, Bhai Mardana Ji ki Maharaj, are there any other rishis here? Jahan ithe rishi ja muni ithe rehde hai, koi sadhu ithe rehde at this place. Maharaj, let's meet them if they do. Doing sangat of amazing souls like this, even we can get saved. Look at that again, the importance of sangat. The importance of sangat, like we get this on a weekly basis. Getting sangat throughout the week sometimes gets hard because of our lives, we work, all that, I get it, I understand. But sangat ta kare bhi ban sakdi hai. You can make sangat at home as well by you as getting as a family together and doing simran. Ja paat kathe kar lo, do Rehra Sahib together. Ja share a sakhi with each other. Or the parents teach their kids sakhiyan, tell their kids sakhiyan. And sangat hi hundi hai, that's sangat as well. If you think that ahi sangat hafte vich ek bari mildi hai, no, you can make sangat at home as well. And the importance of sangat, we know how the important sangat is because we know lives have been changed. From a sakhi came to mind, which was during Sant Kartar Singh Ji's time. Sant Kartar Singh Ji Katha karne ne, they're doing Katha in Bombay. Uthe Diwan bahut badda lagya hoya. They're sitting on stage doing Katha. Bar outside the Diwan, there's commotion happening. What's happening is there's a chor that's on the run, there's a thief that's on the run, and the police are after him. That chor runs into the Diwan to hide. All he wants to go is to hide. So he puts a rumal on quickly and goes and sits in the sangat. The police are like, where's he gone? Kithe chal gaya? They can't find him. Unhu pata nahi lagda kithe chal gaya. Hun baitha uthe sangat de vich. He's sitting in the sangat, listen to Mahaprabhu's katha. He's sitting there, and if he's sitting there, he might as well listen. Oh, son lag gaya Sant Kartar Singh Katha. Mahaprabhu doing amazing katha. It hits him just like an arrow hits you. It hits him, and then he's like, "What am I doing? I'm running from the police. I'm a thief. Look at this. This is katha, and katha vich ki keh rahe ne ki how you're supposed to truly live. I want to meet this Mahaprabhu, and I want to walk on this path." They meet the Mahaprabhu after Sant Kartar ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਚੋਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਖੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਜਥੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ I want to live with you guys. I want to live with you. I want to be like you guys. Mahaprabhu did a test then to see if he truly means it. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ 3 ਵਜੇ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਸਥਾਨ ਤੇ ਆ ਜੀ. So he came, he got there at 2 o'clock. 2 ਵਜੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੇਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਠੀਕ ਆ. And then he ਦਾਖਲ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ he joined the jatha. And he just used to do seva of all the things. ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ. Started doing bhakti, started doing simran. About a year later, ਸਾਲ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੰਬੇ ਫੇਰ ਆਏ. They came to Bombay. They're doing ਉੱਥੇ ਦੀਵਾਨ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਆ. And then ਉੱਥੇ Sant Kartar Singh goes to some Premi's house, goes to someone's house who's a doctor. ਉਹ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ. ਉੱਥੇ ਕਰੇ ਗਏ. ਉਹ ਸਿੰਘ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਆ, that thief who used to be a Singh, he took Amrit. That's saying that who used to be a thief, Naliya. They're sitting in the room, and Sant Kartar Singh, he wants to show the power of Sangat and the power of Gurbani to everyone now. So they say to the doctor, their friend, ki Doctor Sahab ki neend kinni ki lod hai? How many hours of neend do you need to stay healthy? They said 7-8 ਘੰਟਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਨੀਂਦ ਦੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਹੋਵੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ, they're healthy. ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੇ 4-5 ਘੰਟੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੋਵੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਠੀਕ ਆ, your body gets used to it, it's okay, ਏਦਾਂ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਆ. ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੇ 3 ਘੰਟੇ ਸੋਵੇ ਬੰਦਾ in the night, only 3 hours. ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ then it will start affecting your life, it will start affecting your health. Your health will start deteriorating slowly, and it will affect your life, health in a bad way. They can just nahi sove, if no one sleeps, if you don't sleep at all, ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੋਊਗੀ? Then the doctor said that's impossible. That person will die. If you don't get enough sleep, that person will die. A max a week you can last. That's a torture method people have used in previous times, in today's day and age probably as well. But it's a torture method where they won't let you sleep, where they don't let soldiers sleep. ਬੰਦਾ ਪਾਗਲ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਉਹ ਸਿੰਘ ਬੈਠਾ ਸੀਗਾ doing ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਦੇ ਜਾਪ. And then Sant Kartar Singh, he said to a doctor, he said, just generally check his seht, he got his seht. And then he got his stethoscope out, started checking his seht, started saying that he's healthy as an ox. Sant Kartar Singh, he's not slept for 6 months. 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਸੁੱਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. He do either the seva all day or he just does bhakti all day. ਇਹ ਫਿਰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਿਹਤ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਆ. That's the power of sangat, how it just changes. And he was a ਚੋਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ. But he became a Mahapurkh ਹੀ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ. Guru Sahib ji then said, Mardaniya, there is a rishi that lives here. He will come to us, ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆਊਗਾ. Then Guru Sahib ji started doing Ishnan in that sarovar. By now that rishi came. Seeing Guru Sahib ji doing Ishnan, the rishi said, now this is, look, you know ਜਿਹੜੇ Mahapurkh ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, sadhu ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, when they meet another Mahapurkh sadhu, they won't have normal conversation like we do. ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਦੁਨਿਆਵੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. We always talk about worldly things. ਜਿਹੜੇ Mahapurkh ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, they'll have conversations with each other on like a next level, like spiritual level. Yeah, ਜਿਹਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਮਝ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ. We've experienced, I've seen it happen in front of my eyes. I've told you lot before, where we met that I mentioned Kabir ji, Gyani Pravinder Singh ji, where in Anandpur Sahib, ek wari ho seva kar rahe sige. It was at someone's house. There were loads of Singhs there, and they were serving. And then one of the Singhs said, garma, jada garma, but they didn't say it like that. They said they used a pankti from Gurbani, and then Kabir ji answered them back with another pankti. And then I said they answered him back with another pankti, and they had a conversation for about a good 5 to 10 minutes. But Asim bolde udani, they literally talked with each other in Gurbani language. Like, can you imagine how jinnah rache hoya Gurbani de vich, that they're talking to each other with Gurbani? And that's how these sadhus talk to each other. So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, seeing Guru Sahib doing Ishnan, they said to Maharaj, they said the mind is like the Samer Parbat, like a mountain that doesn't move if you get to this level, whoever gets to this level, whoever has achieved this, just like fish loves water, whoever have made their heart towards Vaheguru like that, whoever have made that connection with Vaheguru, they don't need to do Ishnan as they're pure. So they seen Maharaj, so ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਆ ਸਾਧੂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਖ special person this is. They said that they don't need to do Ishnan as they're pure. The Rishi then said, hey Mahapurkho, aap ji da naam dasso. Guru Sahib ji said, Tusi tan ho, you're great. This sarovar is like Vaheguru, and my mind is like a machi, like a fish. And it suffers when I don't remember Vaheguru, just like that machi, just like that fish suffers without water. Look, Maharaj kidda batan ch pa ke gallan ho karde how they take. Nanak would die without Vaheguru. And look how Guru Sahib are introducing themselves. Look how they're mentioning their name. Yeah, look how they mention. They said Thoda naam dasso aap ji, and they go Nanak would die without Vaheguru. I get sukh from remembering Vaheguru. And there's dirt that there's dirt that comes out from all our nine darwaje jehde hunde a, the 9 gates that our bodies have. So jehde do akkhan ho giyan, do nasa ho giyan, the 2 nostrils, our ears, our mouth, and from where passive waste comes out from. Number 2 and number 1 and number 2. And Maharaj goes, with water we clean them gates. Mary hundiya, with water we need to keep our body clean. So Rishiji, that's why we're doing Ishnan. Ishnan is important too, and it gets rid of laziness as well. Maharaj talking about it practically there. Nanak ki Ishnan kaate jaruri hunda karna. When the Rishi heard Nanak, jadon ne Nanak sunaya, he folded both hands and they did matha tek to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Then they said, Maharaj ji, you've done so much kirpa on me that you've given darshan to me. Please forgive me, Maharaj. I didn't recognize who you were. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੌਣ ਹੋ. When ਆਪ ਜੀ mentioned your name, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨਾਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ, then I understood who you are. ਆਪ ਜੀ ਸਰਗੁਣ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ. I heard Katha about you, Maharaj. ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਥਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੁਣੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ. And now I have had your darshan. Seeing that love that the Rishi had, Guru Sahib ji said, hey Rishi ji, whoever does sangat of you does not get trapped in moh or lalach. Look at that, doing sangat of Mahapurkhs of great Gursikhs like that. If you've got any sort of them issues that the panch chor that affect you, any one of them, je thonu eh rog lagi hoya kaam di bimari, lust, if you've got lust within you, if you've got greed within you, if you've got attachment within you, if you've got hankar within you, do sangat of Mahapurkhs like that, and then that's you start getting control over this, all that. Maharaj goes, this place is pavitr. The Rishi did namaskar to Maharaj. After doing vichar here, Guru Sahib ji left this place also. By Balaji they say ki Maharaj ji to Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, ki Maharaj listen to what's going to happen next. Guru Sahib ji carried on their journey and they came across a mountain called the Kulka Pahad. Bhai Mardana ji then said, Maharaj ji, where are we going now? Hun kithe chale asi? Which country will come next? Bhai Mardana ji kende agla desh keda ya? Agla desh keda ya? And how long will it take for us to get back to our desh? Guru Sahib ji said, we will come soon back to our desh. Asi mud ke wapas avange apne desh nu. Guru Sahib ji then laughed and said, Mardania, are you getting homesick? Tenu kar chette aa gaya? Do you wish to go back? Then mud ke jana hai wapas. Will they go back? We're going to have to find out next week where if they go back or not. Back to Punjab or not. Agge kithe jange. We'll leave that there. We'll continue that next week. If anyone's got any questions about Guru Nanak Dev Maharaj even or Amarjot Sakhi or anything to do with Sikhi in generally, has anyone got any questions in their mind? Hanji, Shim Singh.
So, when we die, and then we go to Janata, what happens? I know obviously the God, Dini now there came to Kala, Nanak Dev Maharaj. What happens to those like just daily that do the reading Panch Bani, Nitnem, doing the Hiras, Villa, and then doing some what happens to them?
Oh, they don't go to Targaj. They bypass that. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਿਤਨੇਮੀ ਹੋਣ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਉੱਠਦੇ ਆ ਨਿਤਨੇਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹਿਤ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ all that, yeah, they do all that. There's loads of stories to back that, and say that you can read it in apne Gyan Karna Sant Guru Bachan Singh Ji's ਉਹ ਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ. There was a great saying that were with them when they were on their deathbed, ਜਦੋਂ ਅੰਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ, right towards the end, before they passed away, they're saying Fateh, or Jira saying na I forgot the name now. He's in the bed and he's saying Fateh, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. But he's looking on this side, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Fateh, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. He's as if like looking at someone saying Fateh, and the sayings around him saying Ki Baba Ji tusi Fateh kenu belong, that hai ta hai nahi. And then they said Menu Panj Pyare Lain aa gaye. Like the 5 sayings have come to take me. They're not going to go into the Dharmaraj. They're going to bypass that and go straight to Sachkhand. There's another story where this one saying said that Sant Atra Singh Ji Manu Lain aa gaya. Sant Atra Singh Ji have come to take me. And then you've heard of other stories where Guru Sahib Ji aap hi lain aa jande. Guru Sahib Ji themselves come and take Mahapurukhs back to Sachkhand. So jara nitnemi hobe and stuff like that, they'll go straight to Sachkhand. They'll bypass Dharmaraj. Any other questions anyone else has got? If not, if no one else has got any other questions, then we'll call it a day. We'll do Simran.
Why don't you just explain who is Dharmaraj?
Hanji. So Dharmaraj is after you die. So throughout your life, let's start from there. Throughout your life, whatever you do, whatever actions you do, always get written down. Yeah, think of it like that. There's Chitra and Gupta. There's like there's the angels, Chitra and Gupta, and their main job is to write down your actions. Gupta means that you think you're doing something, no one's watching you do something bad, but that gets written down as well. Chitra and your good action, your bad action are getting written down, and then when you die, depending on how you lived your life, you'll go in front of Dharmaraj. Dharmaraj is like the judge. Chitra Gupta will be standing there, and they'll say to Dharmaraj, Ki ene aha kita, they did this, he did this, he did that, he did this. Ah changa kita, ah mara kita. Say all of that stuff. Dharmaraj will be the judge and decide on what's going to happen to you next. Ki tu June which kere June which pehna what, how you going to get saza, how you going to get rewarded. What Dharmaraj's responsibility hai fir. The Dharmaraj sits there and he judges what's going to happen to you next. Yeah. So kind of your judgment day. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool.
Obviously there's like life exists within humans, within animals, within plants. So they're part of the journey. Do plants and trees, do they kind of come into that as well in terms of part of that life cycle?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does come in. Even the Bahar is a dream. Even mountains classed as a dream.
Okay.
Yeah, the mountains classed as a dream. So all these plants and stuff like that are classed as a dream. So yeah, it's classed as a dream. They're part of the Jurassic like a dream.
What's the difference between Rishi, Sadhu, Mahaprabhu,
That's a good question. So from my understanding, but from listening to Katha, the Katha Vachas or Kavi Santosh Singh, they interchange the name to talk about the person. So sometimes some of them they mention Rishi and then mention Sadhu. So from my understanding, I think it's the same kind of thing, but it just there's different names. I think what it relates to is the way they do stuff, the way they do like so yogi we have together there. That person will be doing yoga vyas, right? And then where we say Bhagata, Eta Bhagata, he does bhakti like where he sits there and does bhakti in different way. Hat yoga, those are different ways, and I think it relates to that how they do bhakti, but it's for the same person though. Anyone else? Alright, we'll call it a day, guys. Week in, week out, every single week without failure, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj sanu kende ne ki bhakti kinni zaruri hai, simran kinna zaruri hai. Yeah. Guru Sahib Ji have said to us, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj say that Gur Sikh, if you call yourself a Sikh, my Sikh, Gur Sat Gur Ka Sikh Akhaye, Pal ke uthar naam te aave. So if you call yourself a Sikh, then my Sikh will get up at Amrit Vela, so that means you'll get up that very moment you wake up. When you wake up, you'll sit up and you'll start doing Simran, you'll start doing Bhakti. Har naam pe aave. So you'll start doing naam te auna. And then Maharaj go on to say ki Ishnan kare, Amritsar now that you do Ishnan, Gurbani gawe, Gurbani, din chade Gurbani ga, Pankti on cheta pol gaya, so maafi mangda, apologies. But the meaning of that is that you'll get up, you'll do Simran, you'll do Ishnan, have a shower, and then you'll read Gurbani before the day starts. Or Sikh hunda hai, that's Sikh. So your day starts from Simran. Guru Sahib Ji tell us every week ki Simran karya karo. Simran Maharaj says to all the bhagats, all whoever they meet, ki bhakti wal dhyan diya karo. So it definitely matters. So let's all do Simran in Sangat form, just for a couple of minutes, just to get Anand and Laha from Maharaj, so they can bless us in that way. Thank you to everyone that's come. If I made any mistakes, guys, please forgive me. Week in, week out, I always ask for that same thing. Ki Maharaj, thank you for the opportunity that you give. That it's because of you guys that or that laziness goes away, and you get that strength to listen to the Katha, present the Katha. So thank you so much. We'll continue next week in the same way. Quick announcement is Nagar Kirtan this Sunday. So please do try and come. It's going to start from Guru Nanak Gurdwara, 11 o'clock. They say 11 o'clock, but the 11:30 baji jande hunde there. But it's starting from there all the way to Guru Tegh Bahadur Gurdwara. There's also a Amrit Sanchar tomorrow. Sada farj banada hai, it's our responsibility to let you know whether you want to give your head to the Guru or not. But the Amrit Sanchar tomorrow at Guru Nanak Gurdwara at 2 o'clock. So let's all do Simran, let's do Ustad, praise all the Guru Sahib Jis, and then we'll call it a day. Vaheguru, 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 ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੰਥ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੰਥ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ